Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Generation 1. In the last episode, we defeated our second gym leader here in Vermillion City and beat up a robber in this backyard because the police are so ineffective that they didn't even realize they were here for some reason anyway. This time, we're going to be heading on through this backyard in order to reach new locations on our journey. If we head off to this side, the sidebar will taunt you because we cannot go and catch the Pokémon in that visible tall grass because we cannot cut down this bush yet. You can break through this way if you decide to trade a Pokémon that already knows cut into your save file. However, we're going to be doing things largely in the intended order because it wouldn't be a Let's Play a Pokémon Red and Blue if you didn't do anything interesting with your routing. There's two ways to go down here. First, we can just take this path straight down. It's a nice, little sidewalk. No real path or anything. No tall grass to get in your way is what I meant to say there, and yeah, it's just pretty simple. However, that's the boring way. That is the way that ignores all the fun new encounters. If we jump down these ledges, there is tall grass with new encounters. However, these same encounters will be available on the next route, and I feel like it would be better to go over them then when there's less to talk about, because there is actually, a pretty important mechanic on this route that I need to talk about. As I was saying, there's an important mechanic on this route in this house. And the most inconvenient, I can't imagine having to jump down a cliff to get home every day, let alone 3 of them. I run a daycare. Would you like me to raise one of your Pokémon? So, he will accept one of your Pokémon and they will gain 1 experience point for every step that you take. This is a great way to grind for levels on, say, that Magikarp you can buy in front of Mount Moon. However, he makes all the decisions about your Pokémon as they level up. He chooses what moves to delete when a Pokémon learns a new one, or sometimes skips new moves altogether. He also charges an additional 100 bones on top of the 100 he always charges for every level your Pokémon gains. It feels nice for the daycare to be super easy to explain for once. Come again, in all lowercase, really? Wow. Sure, dude. Okay, if we head down here... I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty, though. Oh, wait there. The road's closed. Can't go south. If you trade yourself a fresh water from another Pokemon game, specifically Pokemon Stadium 2, because that's the only way you can get a fresh water early, other than hacking one in, I guess, but you wouldn't do that. Would you? I should read the sign, probably. Underground path, Cerulean City to Vermillion City. True. Hi, do you have a Nidoran... male? Want to trade it for Nidoran female? The male sign looks goofy in this game, and I just get it I've always gotten the two confused. It just doesn't help that it looks sort of goofy in the font used for this game. This is a worthless trade, neither of these are version exclusives, and we've already caught and evolved both of those. Alright. Oh, that trade is different in Pokemon Yellow, though. She will offer to trade a Machoke for a Cubone. That's a much better trade, but you won't be able to take advantage of it for a really long time. Oh, wait. I forgot something already. We head up here. Again, after already walking most of the way down. 2 tiles from the stairs, there is a hidden full restore. This fully restores a Pokemon's HP and cures any status conditions. That's sort of psychotically good for this early in the game. There are a lot of hidden items in here. If you just sort of mash A as you go down, you're probably gonna find one. Except for if you go down the path I did, apparently. Yeah, that's just the one I know about, and it's the best one, so whatever. People often lose things in that underground path. True. I believe in Fire Red and Leaf Green, the items you find in here actually just respawn occasionally. Not so in this game. Welcome to Route 6. I didn't need to read that. I think there's another hidden item up here. On one of these cliffs. Maybe this one? Maybe not. Okay, there isn't Fire Red and Leaf Green. That's probably why I'm getting confused. Anyway. As I was saying, there's a lot of trainers on this route, and it's otherwise sort of just a straight path with tall grass surrounding it, so while I'm doing a lot of battling here, let's talk about the encounters, since the encounters here are identical to Route 5. In Red version, Mankey can appear on Route 5 and 6. Mankey is the first fighting-type Pokemon we have an opportunity to catch, and I mean, to Mankey's credit, it's not awful. Mankey gets access to pretty much the same moves as every other fighting type in the game, but unfortunately, fighting types were just dealt a pretty crummy hand in Generation 1. They're weak to Psychic, which is already objectively tied for the strongest type in the game, and only strong against Normal. While being strong against Normal may sound good, since Normal is the other strongest type in the game, Mankey can't learn a single fighting type move through level up in Red and Blue, only in Yellow, and the one fighting move it can learn through TM, Submission, is inaccurate and not available until much later. And it causes recoil damage. Mankey can hit hard with the normal type moves it does learn, but there's not much point when there are better options for using those moves on Pokemon that get the same type attack bonus. After evolving into Primeape at level 28, it'll definitely hit much harder, and you'll be much closer to a point in the game where you can teach it some better moves as well. But unfortunately, Primeape runs into a lot of the same issues as Mankey. These Pokemon both get much better in future games, but unfortunately in Generation 1 they just don't have the tools they need to stand out from the crowd. In Blue version, once again, we got lucky. We get access to Meowth. On paper, Meowth seems pretty good. It's a normal type in Generation 1, which is phenomenal, and it gets all the TM compatibility to be expected of that status, but unfortunately, while Meowth does get a lot of fantastic tools, including the ability to very slowly print money using Payday, its best tool won't be available for quite a while, and speaking of, evolving into Persian turns Meowth into a brutal killing machine in this game, but only if you're willing to endure the wait up to level 51 for it to learn Slash. When Persian uses Slash, it quite literally has a 99.6% chance of landing a critical hit due to its extremely high speed stat. Add that on top of Slash already being a 70 power normal move with 100% accuracy, and that's a 140 power move with the same type attack bonus added on top, along with breaking through any defense buffs. This is by far the thing Persian is most known for, but there are only 2 or 3 battles in the game that you're likely to have access to this strategy for. Persian can still do reasonable damage with the moves it can learn, its critical hit rate is still among the highest in the game without the boost Slash gets, and it has a move pool as deep as any other normal type, but if you don't want to wait for its main draw, there are better options. This has sort of been a really good route for Annabelle. She's actually gotten to fight a lot more than usual, and speak of the devil. As soon as I say that, they send out a Pikachu, which Annabelle sort of just perfectly counters. So the trainer I fought before this last had a Squirtle, and that's sort of something I think is really interesting that most generations don't do, where occasionally you will just encounter trainers who are using the starter Pokemon, and the only other generation off the top of my head that does this with any sort of frequency is Generation 4, which kind of makes sense. They were sort of trying to go back to whatever worked with Pokemon Red and Blue, which is like using new technology for multiplayer and everything. Generation 4 just has a lot of weird parallels with Generation 1, but yeah, I sort of like when like random trainers will use the starter Pokemon. It makes the world feel a lot more lived in, which I think Pokemon really needs, because it's an issue that sort of comes with Pokemon being designed as a video game, where these roads are not roads. Like, you don't see roads laid out like this in the real world, even countrysides like Kanto is supposed to be. It just, I don't know, Pokemon is designed in a really bizarre way where it doesn't feel like a real world, so any steps you take to remedy that, just through world building or the Pokemon you're giving trainers, really helps. Like, it's interesting, like, even this kid having a Butterfree, that just feels really neat to see, because nobody has had a Butterfree other than us for this entire journey so far. And it breaks through the confusion. But you are seeing how powerful Parafusion is. This Butterfree has attacked maybe 3 times, and 2 of them were before it was confused. You are too good! Couldn't use an apostrophe there. Do I have an antidote? I have 3 of them. Wow, I actually bothered to stock up. Marjorie's HP is getting really high, actually. She already has 70. That's higher than Hiket. Okay, carrying on. One of these trainers... No, neither of them are optional. For some reason I was under the impression that one of them is optional, but no, we have 2 required fights before getting into Vermillion City. Junior trainer female. Pidgey. Wow. There's so much interesting commentary I can give about this Pokemon. Oh, and it's using Sand Attack too. Really going all out, making this an interesting fight. I'm gonna switch out. I do not think Annabelle Scratch is gonna do enough to take this thing out, like, in a reasonable amount of time. I think Annabelle could do it, but I also think it would be tedious, and I'd rather just spam the confusion button with Margarine. Easy. Are you going to use something interesting next? Okay, well, that answers my question. I will cut out the rest of it. Well, never mind. There's no need to cut out the rest of this battle because Margarine got tired of it. Oh wait, never mind, she has one more. I'll cut out the rest of this battle. Wasn't too hard, it was just 3 Pidgeys. Just didn't work. Okay, maybe you should try getting something other than Pidgey. Huh? You want to talk to me? No, you approached me, sir. I do not want to because I think you have Eradicate, and Raticate scares me. Spearow. Okay, well, that's not Raticate. For some reason I remember I'm having Eradicate. He does have 2 Pokemon, so maybe his second Pokemon is Eradicate. This thing has Peck. I think Annabelle can handle it. Growl missed, that's good. Not doing a lot with Scratch, but Dig doesn't affect Spearow, so... Sorta just gotta hope for the best here. And hope that Fury Attack does not do anything too scary to Annabelle. I think Fury Attack did more there. Or it did the same amount, either way. Okay, Spearow's down. Now just please don't have Raticate as your second Pokemon. Raticate scares me. And of course. I gotta trust my memory a little more, I think. We do have a defense drop, but it doesn't have Hyper Fang if it's using... never mind. I forgot the AI is just completely random in this game. If it's going for Hyper Fang, I should switch. Annabelle can't take a Hyper Fang. Get him! Hiket! And it was going for Quick Attack anyway, which still probably would have knocked out. Annabelle took quite a bit of damage from that tackle, but... Okay, for some reason I remember this trainer being a lot scarier than he is. Annabelle grew to level 17 and learned Slash! This is a super powerful move. It has a higher critical hit chance. I believe a number in the equation to calculate critical hit rate that's normally 200 gets cut down to 64. So yeah, even with Annabelle's speed being pretty low, that'll still pretty commonly be a crit. I didn't start it! Yes you did! What do you mean? I should carry more Pokemon with me for safety. We're both staring at him. Welcome to Vermillion City. This place has such nice music. I love this song so much. I also really love this color. I'm gonna be completely honest, this is my first time completely playing through this game using the Super Game Boy colors. Maybe second time, but I can't remember if I did last time I played this game. But I've been pleasantly surprised by how nice some of these colors have been. Let's go into the Pokemon Center. And heal up, because we took a bit of a beating there. Nothing fainted on the road here, though, so that's good. With all that done, we've made it to a new city. We have a new place to explore, so next time on Pokemon Generation 1, we're going to explore Vermillion City and hopefully make it to that party that Bill sent us to. See you guys then.